Today I was asked a question. I can't afford an agency to run a paid demand program for me or an organic social media program for me. I don't know where to begin. Can you give me some guidance? Let's talk about that. Hello, my name is Bill Arnold. I'm president of Prevail Marketing, and every day, rain or shine, we give you a video on how to grow your business through better sales and marketing. As I said before, this is based upon decades and decades of experience, but we give you stuff that we've done just very recently. And today I was asked a very, very pertinent question. Sometimes it's obvious, and sometimes we fail to oversee the fact that sometimes you need the basics. This individual I talked to had no clue how to begin. We convinced him yesterday that a paid demand program for social media was essential if he wanted to get sales now, if he wanted to get some bottom of the funnel commitments from people. We convinced him by showing that the average industry ROI is 250%, and if you do A/B testing properly, we've gotten well over 600% continuously. So it's always achievable. You just have to do it right. And he said, well, I don't know how to begin. How do I do it right? Now, I could have sent him along the way and said there's a million articles on the internet. Go read them. Or hire us, which he couldn't do. I said, no, let's teach you. In fact, I'm going to go one step better. I'm going to put together a video that starts with the foundation of how you begin. And then tomorrow we're going to talk about how you pick the right strategy and how you price it properly, how you compete in the marketplace. And then finally, we're going to talk about some exact case studies we've done that you can duplicate to get some success. So, with that in mind, let's begin. Just want to point out, again, the reason you want to do paid demand, besides the 600% ROI you'd possibly get, or the industry average 250%, is that if you just do organic social media, your reach will be limited. I mean, I just looked up the numbers today for this person in July of 2023. The Facebook organic rate of engagement went down from 2.58%, which is a low number, to 1.52%. That means that only 50% of Facebook's feed content are to non-followed accounts. So if that's not following you, you're not reaching them. Now, there are exceptions to everything. If you create great content and distribute that content continuously every single day, you can break a little bit of that barrier. But again, that takes a lot of effort, commitment. And I was talking to another agency owner earlier today as well. And I said, the reason I give out this information, the reason I share this information freely is because nobody will do it. I can lay out the blueprint. This is how you get success. And the answers I got from many people is that's a lot of work. That's too much work. My answer to them is, if you want what other people don't have, you got to be doing what other people won't do to get success, and that's work hard. That's what a business owner is about. Saw my sons point out the other day that something, a little joke on their Altcoin Daily. They said that they gave up a full-time job so they could work for themselves, and now they work 24/7. And that's what it's like being being an owner of an agency. You've got to commit to this if you want to be successful. But we're going to walk you through the fundamentals right now of what you need to look at when you start your beginning at the very foundation. The very foundation. Someone's going to be so basic 101, you're going to be turning this off saying, I know that. Good. Then implement it. The first thing, and it goes back to every aspect, every element of marketing and sales, bar none. I'm going to repeat this so people pay attention to it. Know your buyer personas. Have a formalized process for figuring out who your buyer personas are, where they go for information and entertainment, what they need to see at each stage of that buyer's journey as far as messaging and content to take that next leap to the next stage. We believe that not only do we talk to the stakeholders of a company, but we talk to brand new companies they just brought on board. We talk to lost opportunities that never did business with them because they are the best source of information because you didn't get them, you lost them, and they can tell you why. So we go through this process interviewing probably about 15 different people from actually 9 companies. We go through this process because that's what it takes to really understand who your buyer personas are. Now, we use Adele Ravella, the Buyer Personas Institute at buyerpersona.com. If you don't know about our program, knock it down and go watch her stuff. She's excellent. But that process has to be in place. I've seen literally agencies that'll go to the internet and just try to pull out of thin air what a buyer persona should be. It doesn't work. Do it right if you want success. Don't complain if you don't do it right because you didn't do the foundation. That's number one. Number two, recognize that every single platform is unique. Your content has to be modified for that platform. What do I mean? Well, I'm doing a long form video right now that's going to go on YouTube. I'm going to share on LinkedIn. I'm going to share on Twitter. But I'm not sharing this or posting this on TikTok or Instagram or a variety of other short form videos channels. They get their own special 3-minute video. It's not as in depth, doesn't provide as much value, but it does address a single point. It fits into that form. Image, I mean the different size image. The thumbnails I do for TikTok are different than what I've got to do for other platforms. If I want to meet the algorithms, if I want to get the user experience, it's got to be. The messaging has to be modified. You know, if I'm talking on LinkedIn, a much more professional channel, I've got to be much more professional. Not that I'm not on other channels, but on TikTok, you have a little bit of freedom. But the key is know your platform, adapt to that platform. But, and here's the caveat, don't let it change your branding guidelines and messaging guidelines. You set those up front, your branding guidelines, which includes your messaging and your voice, your brand's voice. And if you need to make some modifications, if you think you need to make some modifications, make sure that everyone is in agreement. I can think of a few minor situations that might be the case, but very minor and very rare. So customize each platform. Have an omni-channel approach. I cannot tell you how important this is. I talked to somebody today and he says, yeah, I post on a particular channel. Good channel. Great channel. He says, I'm not getting any traction. I said, no, you're not. He goes, well, what do you mean? I'm posting on the channel. I said, I post on 8, twice a day. Why? Because that's the life cycle of that platform. I probably should be doing more, honestly, on certain platforms like Twitter, X, but I'm not, just a lack of time. But that's what it takes, is omni-channel marketing. Why? Why is that the case? Well, the average user frequents 6.6 social media channels per month. I don't know what that 0.6 is, but that was a 0.6 there. And the reason you want to do that is as they navigate from one channel to another and they see your messaging, it locks it in. It makes it more real. It makes you more credible. Remember I told you to take 6 to 8 touch points in order for something to resonate with somebody? If I see a touch point on the same channel, it doesn't have the same impact. But if I've seen it on Facebook, I've seen it on LinkedIn, I've seen it on Twitter, I've seen it on X, I've seen it on a variety of channels in a variety of ways, it's going to certainly have a greater impact. And so if you look at the most important platforms that people, B2B platform goes, believe it or not, I bet you can't guess the one that they frequent the most. Think it's LinkedIn? Nah. Think it's YouTube? No. Twitter then, right? No. Facebook's number 1 with 89%. Instagram's 80%, LinkedIn 64%, YouTube 54%, Twitter 44%, and TikTok is 26%. These are recent numbers. So, but you need to be involved in all of them in the manner they do. And I've had people who've come to me and have said, I see you everywhere. You're everywhere. Good. Thank you. Here's another major requirement. If you don't do this, don't do it at all. Provide value. Do not post something that says, come buy from us. Do not post a witty cartoon and think it's going to resonate. It's great entertainment value, but it's not going to convince them about you. All content, be it organic or paid, needs to provide value to the intended audience. Be it educational or entertainment, it needs to provide value that will benefit them. That's the key. It's got to benefit them. If it doesn't do that, don't post it. Distributing content that has little or no value to them is the quickest way for a brand to be devalued in the marketplace. Let me repeat that. Distributing content that has little or no value to its intended users is the quickest way for a brand to be devalued in that marketplace. They're going to turn you off and never turn you back on. So make sure whatever you do has value. I tell people when we write a blog or create a video, if that's the only thing you see is that particular blog, that particular video, it's got to be strong enough. It's got to be informative enough. It's got to create enough value to them that it stands alone. Because they're not going to look at the 6 others that may be far better, because I certainly have ones that are better than others. but I don't let things go unless I think it brings value. If it doesn't, we don't do it. There's been many blogs that I've written that I haven't done videos on because I didn't think the videos would bring value. So think about it in that terms. Another requirement, use behavioral science. Gosh, I talk about the Psychology of Influence by Dr. Robert Cialdini. He's a master. Guys, read his book. I probably sold more copies of his book than anybody on the face of the earth other than himself because I used to give it away to clients. I used to buy it and say, take it because this is what you need to do. The laws of influence, getting your buyers to get to yes, work. I require every campaign that Prevail Marketing sends out, before you even bring it to me, one of the things when we talk to me and convince me the campaign, if you're one of our strategists, you got to convince me, you got to show me, I should say, which of the laws of influence you're utilizing in that campaign. If you come and say I'm not, it's dead on arrival. You have to use at least one, if not two, because they work. And we're going to be doing a lot more articles on that because it seems to resonate. But you need to include it in every campaign, guys. It absolutely makes a difference. You only have a few seconds to influence that person. Make it count. Connect with them. The next thing that you need to do is have metric-driven campaigns. What do I mean by that? Somebody posted I talked yesterday about doing A/B testing. I check every day for paid demand. And they said, isn't that excessive? What can you do in every day? You should be getting enough traffic on paid demand every day that you can do A/B testing and always be comparing the original version versus the proposed better version and seeing which one wins. The one that loses goes away for the next day. And another candidate comes up there. Why do I do that? And I said, this is sort of like growth hacking. Okay, I've taken it from there because I love to do growth hacking. It's basically in real time analyzing the performance. Why? Because I don't want a bad performing, a low performing, or no performing ad being out there for very long. So if you got enough traffic, you modify and you adjust something. You do A/B testing so you constantly are improving. And what happens? You do it every single day. By the end of the month, you got a really great piece of content that's resonating, that's optimized, that's working. And you continue doing that because A/B testing is how you do it. We track 400 KPIs, but when we talk about A/B testing, we do it every day. And someone pointed out to me today, well, that's only an increase by 10%. That's the average number. I said, yeah, I've done it by 19%. I've done more, but 10% is the average in the industry. But hey, think about it. If I got 10,000 people viewing an ad, is a 10% improvement worth it every day? You bet it is. So A/B test everything, metric driven, make decisions based on that. Be that type of person who is in the weeds when it comes to looking at the numbers. It'll pay off. Be relevant. Gosh, okay. You need to make sure that you are targeting the people in the most relevant fashion. Now, I'm going to do one of the case studies I'm going to show you is geolocation, where we basically had an event, which is we had a client that did gaming, and they went to this event and they wanted to demonstrate a new product, a new functionality of their game. And so what we did is we basically geolocated everybody in that conference center. In fact, everyone in that room. And the ones who were in that room got some special promotions. The one in the conference got some other promotions. But it built the buzz. It got people who were most interested, the highly targeted people who were watching this event unfold on their phones as soon as it was over. Bzz, oh my goodness, I just got an ad. Press now and save 40% or 30%, whatever it was. It had tremendous, because why? It was relevant. You need to have a relevant system. We're going to talk about how to make it relevant in the next couple days. Be cost effective. Now, cost effective is going to come by doing all those other things I just mentioned, number one. Number two, it's also how you utilize it. I basically utilize paid demand, social media in two ways. One is amplification. I don't just spend the money on something willy-nilly. That's the phrase. I don't spend the money just willy-nilly. I spend it on things I've known have proven to work. I look at what has worked organically. What has been my organic marketing strategy for this paid social, or for organic social? And if it's working organically, I'm going to promote it. I'm going to amplify it. I'm going to share it. If a customer has something wonderful, maybe they did hey, Prevail Marketing is phenomenal. They did a great job. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pay to promote what they said because it is valuable. So at the top of the funnel, you can pay to promote the things that you know are working. And if you have a bottom of the funnel thing like a client's testimonial, you can pay to promote that as well. Amplification of things you know are going to resonate and work or have high value to you. The cost is minimal, a few $100, promote a piece of high quality content on social platforms, but they deliver results to highly targeted people. The other way I use is retargeting. What do I mean by retargeting? Primarily during the top of the funnel and middle of the funnel, but I've done it for bottom of the funnel as well. When someone visits my client's website and has shown an interest at the top of the funnel, let's say, for the next 72 hours as they navigate around the internet, as they go on their social channels, you know what they're going to see? A variety, 5 or 6 different variations of a promotion that's geared to that particular buyer persona, seeing something on that channel. And it'll be different because the first one may not catch their attention, but variation 2, 3, and 4 may. So I create a lot of content that is addressing pain points and concerns of a buyer persona at that particular stage for the next 72 hours, because I know they're probably looking at that point. They're not just looking at me and going away and saying, I'm done. They're going to continue looking around the internet. They're going to continue as they're going through social channels at night, thinking about it. Oh, I remember these. Oh, they got something new I didn't know about that. I'll click on that. Maybe that's going to apply to me. And they click on it. And you keep doing that for 72 hours. Why only 72 hours? You don't want to stalk them. And usually after 72 hours, they've gone on to something else. So if they're doing something at the bottom of the funnel, let's say come to your website and they do a bottom of the funnel. They ask for pricing. Am I going to give them top of the funnel and follow them around for 72 hours? No, of course not. I'm going to give them bottom of the funnel. Case studies, what the experts are saying, comparisons between us and our competitors, maybe, whatever. I'm going to have different content offerings that they can come back to our website to revisit us, to re-engage with us. But that's retargeting. So the key to success in social media is don't skip the basics. What I talk is basic 101 you should all have in your playbook, and you'd be sit there and saying, I already know this. Why you tell me something I already know? I hope you did. I hope I did. If I didn't, take heed, because this is what required. So we're going to see what I'm going to do tomorrow. I'm probably going to skip and change tactics for a couple days, just because I'm getting not bored, but I need to move on, provide some variety. But we're going to come back to this. We're going to come back and talk about the actual steps, how you do the cost analysis, how you look at them, how you price it. We're going to look at that. I bet you need to know. We're going to look at specific campaigns, case studies we have done recently that have worked, that you can duplicate. We're going to give you the ins and outs how that goes. So that's going to come up within 2 weeks, if not tomorrow, next day. I think tomorrow we're going to probably talk about email marketing for a bit, just because someone raised the question to me. If you don't, guys, have figured this out. If you ask me a question, share something, send me an email or fill out a form saying, what about this? I try to bring it up as quickly as possible and talk about it because I know you're interested. So tomorrow, in light of that, I'm trying to put together, changing gears because we already had stuff produced. I'm saying, okay, let's put that on hold. Let me quickly put together something about email marketing. And that is about 5 or 6 sessions as well. So until then, I appreciate your time. I appreciate you being here. Please like, please follow, please subscribe, please show us some love, guys. Show us some love, okay? Because we like to know at least people paying attention. Hey, if you've gotten this far, say I've gotten this far. I'd love to know if anyone gets to the end, okay? And until then, if you need information specific to you, ask us. Go to our website, fill out a form, email there, phone number there. We'd love to talk to you. Until then, have a great night.